Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we're going to be jumping down into the charts once again to take another look at Vechain to see what's been going on most recently with the price action and to see what I think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If we happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with all that said, done and out of the way, let's jump on down into the desktop here, take a look at Vechain on what I think is going to happen next. So we're going to start things off with the hourly chart. We are paired up with USDT, and this is Binance as our data source. Now, as you can see, obviously we've been tracking this nice move upwards. I think this is a wave 3 on our daily, so I think actually starting over there is not a bad shout. So let's jump over to the daily, okay, and we can obviously see that we had the wave 3 high. Now, we were talking about potentially pushing it a little bit higher. I think that is no longer really viable, so I'm just going to pull this down, and I think we are in this fourth wave correction, which is basically this yellow box here, and this is basically going to show us roughly where we think this fourth wave correction is going to go. As you can see, the stochastic RSI on the daily chart has started to correct down, and it is very possible at this stage that we just actually move this back up into the overbought area on this daily chart as we have that final fifth wave higher, okay, because after this fifth wave higher we will see some kind of correction that will be substantial. This will be based on the weekly stochastic, for example, being actually quite high in the overbought area and needing a correction coming down. And essentially what we're talking about here is on that weekly chart, all of this move coming up, including the fifth wave high that is yet to actually happen, is just wave 1, and we would expect some kind of wave 2 correction. Now, the wave 2 correction is approximately a 50% correction, so that's kind of where we are in the cycle. Okay, there'll be a huge pullback at some point to lower our weekly stochastic RSI from the overbought to the oversold area. Okay, so we are thinking long term, but we're getting closer and closer to it. So that's kind of what this yellow box symbolizes. This symbolizes our fourth wave correction, before we start to actually get 5 impulsive moves up into the fifth wave. Okay, so let's jump back down into our hourlies. Now we have a good idea as to what's going on here with the wave 3 high and what this yellow box represents. We are of course overbought on our hourly stochastic RSI. Okay, so that's indicating that we should be thinking corrections. The 4 hourly chart is oversold. Okay, and the 8 hourly chart is oversold. So there is room to grow and back to the upside first. So this is going to be corrective in its nature to the downside, which means it's going to be lots of overlap, lots of volatility moving up and moving down. But overall, we should start seeing lower highs get set. So we had a high point, we see a lower high, and potentially we're going to see a lower high here. We'll pull back down, then we'll move up again, setting again a lower high, and this will continue on this journey, but there'll be overlap. It won't be a trend. That's kind of the key here, or the key takeaway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on down into this, right? So yesterday we were talking about maybe pushing up towards the 8.6. We actually found that area right here, this being 8.279, and we actually just wicked above it. I marked this one up. We pulled back down to the 7757, then we moved up into that range, right? And then we got rejected. Now we were, potentially talking about moving up higher. That would be in the 1-to-1 ratio. However, basically this one wick here actually is our C wave higher right there, okay? And this is basically just higher than our A wave, and that is a valid C wave. It just didn't go to the 1-to-1, the most common relationship. It just went a little bit short. This then marks our B wave high, okay? So we have A wave down, B wave up. Now here we have 5 waves, here we have 3 waves. We should be expecting 5 waves, okay? So we actually don't have this in a roundabout way right now, so this could be a deeper C wave than maybe we're thinking to the lower bound here. But yeah, normally we would expect to see this as a 535. Something to that effect, but we've got 5 waves coming down, 3 waves coming up, and at the moment this is looking like 3 waves, so a 533, which wouldn't make too much sense. So there might be something more going on here that we need to really watch out for going forward. So we'll just see if this is going to lead into something a little bit more complex. Usually these fourth waves are complex in nature anyway, so we'll just watch out for that. At the moment it's not making a huge amount of sense on the macro here at 533, because you normally would expect 535, right? So we're not seeing 5 waves right now, but we will do some measurements just to make sure that everything here is kind of as you would expect it to. So here we have a pretty clear move down. Okay, we can measure this as a wave, and then we move that up to here. Now this move this one, fails to go down lower than 1.618, meaning that this is just ABC. And this is, again, what I'm saying, we don't have a clear kind of direction in terms of the wave counts, right? It's not standard. So we have is basically AB extended C falling short of going impulsive and what is looking like an A wave up. Okay, so all of this is going to be interesting. There's a couple of key things I want to kind of just note, because obviously I'm talking about potential fourth wave corrections, and you know, the patterns that we would normally expect to see and trying to lower that daily stochastic RSI. It is possible, however, that this is a start of these impulsive waves up. So I want to kind of give you these options. I'm going to quickly remove a couple of these off of here, but I will leave this yellow box. Okay, so when we think about this C wave, if this is a macro A, B, C, then we are looking at about 7 cent. However, if this is just a quick correction here with 5 waves, which will be incredibly odd in itself, that's not what you would expect to see. But, you know, this is crypto and anything is possible. If it is just that, then this could be the start of a move upwards, okay, on the macro instead of a move down on the macro. So I'm going to show you what that might look like and where we would look out for invalidations, okay, because we are expecting a pullback on the hourly chart, but the 4-hour and the 8-hour are saying that we should move up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a horizontal ray here, and I'm going to mark this line right here. If we cross below 7467, then we are going down. Okay, and we should be expecting 7.021 on the 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, failure to do that, and we move our stochastic from overbought to oversold, right? And we do not cross this line, chances are that we will be going back up again, and it'll be going up in a bigger way. And what we want to look out for here is a higher move than this one up here. So I'll grab my horizontal ray again. Okay, we're looking to go higher than this this C wave just up here. Okay, and let me just check to make sure I get that on the right level here. The high was 8374. So I'm just 2 points off there. So let me just go up to, there we go. Okay, so 8374. Okay, that's the high point. So we'll be looking to go higher than that. Okay, so on this next pullback, and you know, pulling back down, if we fail to cross and go lower than 7467, then in theory we'll be watching out for a move higher than 8374. Okay, if we go higher than this yellow line, essentially what we're doing here is basically saying that we are not in this this C wave low right now. There's some other kind of pattern forming here that we should be very aware of. And again, this could be a big A, B, C move. Okay, and if that is the case, which is possible, that actually we haven't got into the final 5 waves down because we haven't gone high enough yet, the trigger point for that would be 8407. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off our macro view there, and what I'll do is I will remove that for a second, and I'll show you this. So what we have is potentially 3 wave here, a 3 wave here, and we'd expect a 3 wave here. Pretty much a sideways trade, continuation pattern before maybe getting the next 5 waves coming down, which would again take us into that lower range. Now again, this I would actually expect to be the thing that takes us down into that lower C wave. Okay, so we'll be open to these ideas. Okay, because that is what you would expect to see. You'd expect to see a 5-3-5, and the fact that we've got a 3-3 here and a potential move up higher, that is actually probably the move that is more probable right now. Okay, so it's all about whether or not we drop down lower than 7467 as to whether or not this scenario is viable. If we drop down lower than that, then that is not something that we're going to be looking at unless this becomes an expanding flat correction. And again, I don't like that idea. We've already gone higher than this A wave here anyway. So I think that actually would tie up nicely if we just pull back a little when we get that C wave come up to that upper bound. That will essentially allow us to then say that we've got this potential 5 wave coming down being overbought, back on the daily, and the stochastic RSIs on the 4-hourly and the 8-hourly moving and progressing a little bit. And this would actually then allow us to call this entire move, if I zoom out a little bit here on our chart, as an entire A wave down, B wave up, and a C wave down. This would then allow us to get a nice deep correction on our fourth wave correction for our daily stochastic RSI will be corrected nicely, and we can then start thinking about that fifth wave higher, which will be fantastic. So, and it's a relatively complex one because I think we've got a few different things going on here, but I do think this is a probable play. But we are watching out for these two things to kind of, you know, make sure that we are in a continuation pattern here. So if we do lose 0.07467, if we do lose that level, then we'll actually on a different path, and I'll have to plot out something different to make sense of all of the waves that we are seeing. But for now, I think this is the most probable one. So inside of our C wave here, this is an A, we'll have some kind of B, and then we'll have some kind of C here. Okay, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But if this B wave comes down lower than this dotted line, then that is not what's going on, and we should reevaluate. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on here for Vechain. That's kind of a brief technical analysis. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.